I'm George Boston Rhymes, and I'm in front of the Valdosta Police Headquarters building here in Valdosta, Georgia, in the county of Lowndes and in the state of Georgia. I understand that Reverend Floyd E. Rose, the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, will stand before Valdosta City Mayor Gale, Councilman James Wright, Councilman Yopes, Councilman White, Councilman Payton, Councilman Norton, Councilman Carroll, and Councilman Sonny Vickers. It is concerning the new assigned police chief here in Valdosta, and it seems as if though Minister Floyd Rose, as well as the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, are somewhat unhappy and believe that just possibly the best decision were not made in the selection process. I understand that Larry Hanson police chief duties and responsibilities are upon his shoulders.
Yeah, I just talked to her this morning.
Face in the place. Someone said that only 10% of those who are listening to me now will remember 10% of what I've said 10 minutes after I've said it. And so it's not important that you remember what I say this morning. It is only important that you remember what you think about it. It's what you think about it that determines what you do about it, and it is only what you do about anything that really matters. And let me say that again. It's not important that you remember what I say this morning. It is only important that you remember what you think about it, because it's what you think about it that determines what you do about it, and it is only what you do about anything that really matters. And at the close of this message, I will be inviting you to attend the City Council meeting Thursday, March 7th at 5:30, where I'll be making a similar presentation. And it will be in response to the city manager hiring a white police chief in a city that is 55% black. In a fair and just society, all human rights for all human beings must be measured by the same yardstick. Democracy cannot mean majority rule when the majority is white and minority rule when the majority is black. And let me say that again. In a just society, all human rights for all human beings must be measured by the same yardstick. Democracy cannot mean majority rule when the majority is white and minority rule when the majority is black. In 1984, in anticipation of the time when the city's population would be majority black, whites devised a political scheme whereby they would maintain control of City Hall and the Valdosta City School System. It was called the at-large seat. City Council has 7 seats, 6 elected by districts and 1 at-large seat. The Board of Education has 9 seats, 8 elected by districts and 1 at-large seat. Ben Norton currently occupies the at-large seat on City Council, and Gina Beelan occupies the at-large seat on the Board of Education. No black person has ever occupied either of the at-large seats. Let me say that again. No black person has ever occupied either of the at-large seats. Not the at-large seat on City Council or the at-large seat on the Board of Education. It's not important that you remember what I say. Just remember what you think about it, because it's what you think about it that determines what you do about it. And it is only what you do about anything that really matters. And let me be clear, there is no reason to have at-large seats except to maintain white control. None. Absolutely none. But ever since blacks were granted the right to vote, whites have devised schemes to neutralize and marginalize their vote. First it was a poll tax, and then it was a literacy test. And in some cases, blacks were asked to read and interpret portions of the Constitution by white registrars who couldn't read themselves. And even though the 1965 Voting Rights Act was intended to ensure that the majority wouldn't do nothing to keep the minority from becoming the majority, you need to listen to this. The 1965 Voting Rights Act was intended to make sure that the majority would do nothing to keep the minority from becoming the majority. And from the beginning, whites have consistently devised schemes to do just that. In 2011 and 2012, 19 states passed some 24 measures that were designed to make it harder to vote. The voter ID laws, early voting cutbacks, and community-based voter registration drives, all of these things were schemes designed to impose burdens on black and Hispanic voters in order to discourage them from voting. And it was just discouraging, it was disappointing, it was disheartening to hear Supreme Court Justice Anthony Scalia say that Section 5 of the 1965 Voting Rights Act was a, quote, perpetuation of racial entitlements. You know what he's saying? He's saying that somehow we don't really have the right to vote, but it was an entitlement based on race given to us by the Congress. What he said was a frightening reminder of the Dred Scott decision of 1857. Now, Dred Scott was a slave who left the South and went to Illinois, which was a free state, and then when he got there, was returned to his master, and so he sued for his freedom. But in returning Dred Scott to his master, Chief Justice Roger B. Taney, in a decision, a 9-1 or 8-1 decision, wrote, "Blacks have no rights that any white man is bound to respect." Did you hear that? Blacks have no rights that any white man is bound to respect, and that the Negro must or might justly and lawfully be reduced to slavery for the white man's benefit. He was bought and sold and treated as an ordinary article of merchandise and traffic whenever profit could be made by it. That's the Supreme Court of 1857. Now, when I retired and returned to Valdosta in 1995, there was a plaque on the outer wall of city council chambers which read, "The mayor and council shall make all appropriate and necessary laws for the control of slaves and free persons of color." Listen to that again. The mayor and council shall make all appropriate and necessary laws for the control of slaves and free persons of color. That plaque was just taken down in 2004, and it was removed reluctantly after George Rimes persisted that it be removed. The plaque has been removed, but the practice has not. Using the at-large seats, a scheme, I said, which was designed to maintain white control of the city, even though the city is 55% black. The city manager is white, the deputy city manager is white, the assistant city manager is white, the police chief is white, the city clerk is white, the head of community development is white, the director of finance is white, the director of utilities is white, the director of human resources is white. But 55% of the city's population is black. 55% of the population is black. Can you imagine in your wildest dreams that if the city was 55% white, the mayor would be black, the city manager would be black, the assistant city manager would be black, the deputy city manager would be black, the city clerk would be black, the head of community development would be black, the director of finance would be black, the head of utilities would be black, the director of energy would be black? Whites would never accept that. Never. Not in 1,000 years. You know it, I know it, and everybody in Valdosta knows it. Well, if that is true for them, why do we accept it? Why? I'm not done. 77% of the students in the Valdosta City Schools are black. 77%. But everybody with any major authority is white. The superintendent is white. The chairman of the school board is white. The director of facilities and maintenance is white. The head of the Department of Human Resources is white. The head of the Department of Instructional Technology is white. The head of Public Relations is white. The director of the school nutrition program is white. The director of social services is white. The director of special education is white. The director of student information is white. And the director of the athletic department is white. Now, do you think in 1,000 years that if 77% of the school's population was white, the superintendent would be black, the chairman of the board would be black, the director of facilities and maintenance would be black, the head of the human resources department would be black, the head of the Department of Instructional Technology would be black, the head of public relations would be black, the head of the nutritious program would be black, the director of social services would be black? And you know what really hurts? We had an opportunity to hire a black superintendent, a black woman, an exceptionally brilliant, qualified black woman. But we didn't. We had an opportunity to hire a black police chief, but we didn't. So I'm appealing to you. In fact, I'm begging you. If you care about the future of our children and their place in this city, please join me in council chambers on Thursday, March the 7th at 5:30 p.m. That's 5:30 p.m. this coming Thursday at 5:30 in City Council chambers. That's on the corner of Central Avenue and Lee Streets. Now, I'm going to challenge the mayor and City Council. Reviewing what I've just shared with you, I'm going to lay it all out before them. I will not, and I repeat, I will not follow the 5-minute rule that they have given citizens to speak. It's unfair, because what I have to say is more important than their rule. And if I'm arrested, so be it. I've been in jail before, and if anybody thinks that that's going to stop me, then they need to think again. I've been placed in solitary confinement. That was in 2005. But I'm telling you this morning, my arrest or my being jailed or my being put in solitary confinement again is a small price to pay if I can change a system that is destroying black people. I love you. I want you to come to see me. And by the way, if you want to talk to me, just give me a call at 229-444-1938. That's 229-444-1938. I repeat, 229-444-1938. Once again, I urge you to join me in City Council chambers this coming Thursday at 5:30. I want you to be there. Bring people with you. We need to fill up the council chambers, and we need to, by our very presence, say to the mayor, to the city manager, and to the councilman that enough is enough, And for us, this is enough. God bless you. I love you. And please stay with us.
You have just heard the senior servant of Serenity Church, 1619 North Lee Street here in Valdosta, Georgia. Senior servant Rose invites you to join him and your brothers and sisters at Serenity every Sunday morning at 9 a.m. for their worship hour and Tuesday night at 7 p.m. for Bible study. Serenity is the perfect church for imperfect people, the place where Christ is all and love is law. That's Serenity, 1619 North Lee Street. Join us again Monday through Friday at 10:15 for the Voice of Serenity here on Foxy.
I wasn't there. No, hey, when they whipped my great-great-grandfather with the whip, oh, I can feel the pain. Lord have mercy, I can feel the pain. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Yes, I can. And I wasn't there. No, hey, when they raped my great-great-great-grandmother, and I wasn't there. Oh no, Lord, when she cried out for help. Oh, I can feel the pain. Early in the morning, I can feel the pain. Yeah, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Yes, I can. I can still hear the slaves moaning as they slowly walk down the gangplank from the ship. And all I could do, Lord, all I could do was stand there and cry. Hey, Lord, 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 oh, Lord, the God Almighty, oh, I can feel the pain. Yes, I can. I said I can feel the pain. Lord, Lord, oh, I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Yes, I can. They locked up one of our black sisters not long ago. Angela Davis was her name. Oh, yeah. I said they handcuffed her and they took off to jail. Oh, yes, they did. And I want to say, I wasn't there, but I can feel the pain. Yeah, Lord, Lord, I can feel the pain. My, oh, I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Oh, yeah. I wasn't there when they shot Malcolm X. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Oh, Lord. I've never been a slave. I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Yeah. Lord, I said I can feel it. Oh, I can feel it. I can feel the pain. Shot Martin Luther King. Oh, I said I can feel it. Lord, I can feel it. I can feel the pain. From the bottom of my heart, I want to say I can feel it.
I'm George Boston Rhymes, and I'm in front of the Valdosta Police Headquarters building here in Valdosta, Georgia, in the county of Lowndes and in the state of Georgia. I understand that Reverend Floyd E. Rose, the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, will stand before Valdosta City Mayor Gale, Councilman James Wright, Councilman Yotes, Councilman White, Councilman Payton, Councilman Norton, Councilman Carroll, and Councilman Sonny Vickers. It is concerning the new assigned police chief here in Valdosta, and it seems as if though Minister Floyd Rose, as well as the president of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, are somewhat unhappy and believe that